Draža, I need your help. Hi. Thank you. Hey, wonderfuls. You like dags? This is Draža, and he's going to help me show off a few of the DIY dog mods that we put in the van. I breezed over a few of these items in the van tour video, but I thought we'd go into a bit further detail on how I made them, as well as mention a few other items that we pack along with us just in case. To make sure that he's comfortable when we're driving, if he wants to ride up front, we put a seat extension platform in so that he's got a little bit more space to lay down and somewhere to dangle his little footsies. The seat extension is made from a dish drying rack and a wooden swing that's on some rope that has been fed through some holes I drilled in the dash and wrapped around the steel that's inside of it. I can take it out pretty quickly and easily if I need to access the passenger side floor or if I have a human passenger, and then I cover it all up with some blankets for cushion and to level the seat out, and Draža's camping dog bed, which is just an old couch cushion that is the perfect shape for the front seat and to still give the kitties access to the floor. You're not even using your seat extension. What the heck? That's better. Perfect. You got room for your feet to dangle, and that is how the chin rest works. The whole setup is actually pretty strong, and it needs to be for all 86 pounds of Draža. And I know he's lighter than he looks, but he is mostly fluff. Majestic fluff. To keep the temperature comfortable while we're driving, I put a vent extension onto the van so that I can blow the air to the back, because there really isn't much for vents back there other than the two on the floor. And I tried to kind of reroute those, but they're pretty much buried at this point. The vent extension is just a dryer flex hose, and it's attached to the threaded piece of a plastic jar and then a plastic trim piece that is screwed to the dash around the vent. And at the other end I have a tarp clamp so that I can position it and direct it towards the back of the van. And I just have an elastic holding it in place for when it's not being used so that it's not flapping around in the cab. Because every good co-pilot needs a good view, and because we don't want any cats to get sucked out of the window while we're cruising down the highway, we've got a little screen. I used some leftover pieces from a screen door kit and jammed the corners to suit the angles of this window. It's got screws and tabs to hold it in place, and then foam to fill the gaps of the window contours. I used the black paint trick on the recycled mesh, and it actually worked really, really well and made it almost invisible and much harder to see the rough condition of the screen. I built him a contraption to raise his food and water dishes, and it can be used in the van or outside of the van. I just cut some grooves into hockey sticks and then screwed those onto another board. And on the back of the board, I used some collapsible hooks that previously had magnets in them. So the dish system can be hooked to a little folding tray that also doubles as a cupboard door, or it could be strapped to a tire or a tree or picnic table just to keep it up off the ground and hopefully deter critters from getting into it. And in this case, it also keeps it out of the way of the dog leash. I will wrap a paracord loop around the whole van and then put a leash off of that. And then he can run 360 degrees around the van, in theory. The leash usually gets stuck under the tires, so I have to figure something out for that still. The leash loop system is just paracord and a metal ring that can slide over the knots, but I still need to rig something up with wedges maybe to stop the rope from getting stuck underneath the van tires when he turns a little too tightly. I think I was just gonna do the same thing. Isn't it? Draža is a runner, so he's gotta be on a leash at all times. Plus, most public spaces require dogs to be leashed anyway. So we are very prepared for that. No jumping. You stay there, okay? You know I can football tackle you quicker than you can run out. couple other items that we like to take with us just in case are Draža's rain jacket, his paw cleaner and some extra towels, and a first aid kit. And don't come at me for this rain jacket.
Can you come show off your rain jacket, please?
He doesn't always wear it, but it is really nice to have when we're camping, and I can somewhat keep the van dry inside. Plus he actually loves wearing it, and it looks absolutely adorable on him.
Hi.
In case he's splashing through mud puddles or steps in something gross, we've got the paw jerker offer thing, and it actually works really well to clean his little footsies off before he gets mud or anything all over the van. Can we give a little demo? I just need one little paw to show. Sweet, 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 sweet. In our first aid kit, we pack ear wash, soaps and salves, pet shampoo, styptic powder, Vaseline, kids allergy medication, and eye drops. And we'll usually bring a little grooming kit too, with some nail clippers and a trimmer and some brushes, just in case. Oh, and if you're wondering what we're doing in the driveway, even though I got my van all fixed up, I have to repair the exhaust pipe. A chunk of it fell off, but I'll get to that in another video. I'd love to hear what you thought about the dog mods, and I'd love to hear from you in the comments on what you guys bring with you when you travel with your pets.